That's pretty straightforward. He mentioned the details of that last night. That was what? Number 8. لا يغضبها, that he should not hate her. Now he should not hate her. He said from the rights of the wife upon the husband that he should not become angry with her and only look at her bad qualities. Rather, he should look at her good qualities. He said, and he tries to magnify her good qualities and minimize her bad qualities. He says, and he tries as much as possible to only see good in her. And then he mentioned that the narration that the Messenger of Allah, he said, let no believing man hate a believing woman. If he hates one characteristic, then he will see another that will please him. Number 9, أن يأخذ منها ما تيسر, that he, from the rights of the wife upon the husband, is that he takes from her that which is easy, that he makes things easy for her. Naam? He says, so he should keep in mind her nature and not overburden her, but make things easy for her. And then he mentioned the narration, said, treat the woman kindly, for verily they were created from the rib. And the most crooked part of the rib is the top part. And if you straighten it out, you will do what? You will break it. And if you leave it alone, then it shall remain crooked. And then he said again, treat the woman kindly. And then in another narration he said, the woman is created from a rib that will never become straight. So if you enjoy her, then enjoy her with the crookedness that is in her. For if you try to straighten her out, you will break her. And breaking her means what? To divorce her. Now he says, so the intent behind this hadith is that the man knows the nature of the woman and that he is pleased by making things easy for her and he does not burden her beyond her capability. He said he should overlook her faults because she was created from the rib. Number was that, Yakhwan? Number 10, he said, أن يكون معها على أحسن خلق, that he is with her with the best character and manners. That he is with her with the best character and manners. He said, so the man should have the best character with his wife, and he should show her the best of what he has. And listen to what he says, Akhwan. And many people have seen this. He says, some of the men, they have the best manners in the marketplace. And they have the best manners with their friends. And they have the best manners with the people in general, giving them their best. Now, he said, فَإِذَا دَخَلَ بَيْتَهُ كَانَ أَسِدًا. He said, but when he comes in home, when he comes inside his home, said he is a ferocious lion. So when he comes home, he's a lion. And we've seen this, Yakhwan, right? As we mentioned Friday, we find many other men, and they're very nice with a non-Muslim woman. Extremely, overly nice. Almost flirtatious nice. And they come home to their wife, and he wants to be a lion. He said he is aggressive, and she sees no good from him. He is only angry and abusive. He said, and a kind voice is not heard from him, or a kind word. And he said, but the Messenger of Allah, he said, أَكْمَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا أَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلَقًا. He said, the most complete believer in faith is the one with the best manners. He said, and the best of you is the one who is best to his family. Listen to what he said, Yakhwan. He said, there is no good in you that you are seen helping your friends and that you are seen helping the people, but you're not good to your family. There's no good in you that you can help everyone but your family. Now, he said, now if you're good to your family and you're good to the people, then you have glad tidings of what the Prophet Muhammad said, خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَحْلِي وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَحْلِي. The best of you are those who are the best to the family, and I'm the best to my family. What number are we on now? أن يكون سببا في وقيتها من النار. That he be the reason for her being saved from the hellfire. That he be the reason for her being saved from the hellfire. He said from the rights that the wife has upon the husband is that he is a reason to protect her from the hellfire. And he does this by teaching her. And he enjoins the good upon her and forbids the evil. And he is patient with that. He said, so he prevents her from anything that could cause her to enter the hellfire. And then he mentioned the verse, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. O you who believe, save yourselves and your family from a fire whose fuel is men and stone. Now, does anyone know what kind of stone this is that's in the hellfire? Allah Ta'ala says the fuel of the hellfire is men and stones. What kind of stone is this? Huh? Okay, is it Ahsan, Jazakallah Khair? Anybody else?
Large, very large stones.
They're going to be large. Naam, Jazakallah Khair. Black, okay, Jazakallah Khair.
The one that spark like a match.
Okay, Barakallahu Fikum. Jazakallah Khair. The ulama, and you can find this on the MTWS blog if you want to get the details of it, they say this is brimstone. So, and there's a reason for this brimstone being the fruit of the fire. Said because brimstone stinks, has a very horrid smell. Also, it ignites and becomes hotter than any other stone. And also that when it burns, it sticks to your skin. It sticks to the skin. So this is the kind of fire, the kind of stone that's going to be ignited in the hellfire. May Allah Ta'ala save us from that. Now, and the last one, Ya Akhwan, which is what number? He said, أَنْ يَغَارَ عَلَيْهَا, أَنْ يَغَارَ عَلَيْهَا, that he is jealous for her. He said she should see from her husband, from the rights of the wife upon the husband, is that he should have jealousy for her. So she should see from her husband jealousy. But it is a rational jealousy. It is a rational jealousy. Now, he said it is a jealousy that brings about good and repels evil. He said so he is jealous of his wife. He doesn't want anyone to see her body, anything of her body. He is jealous of her wife, that she should turn a glance towards unrelated men or mix with unrelated men or speak to them, and it's not a necessity to do so. And we mentioned the example last night about how some men don't have jealousy for their wife when they sit down and they watch the wrestlers wrestle around in front of their wife. He said, but as for the jealousy that equates to doubt and tracking her every move without a cause for doubt, he said this is jealousy which is haram. You can't become a spy. He says this jealousy that makes you track your wife is haram. He says some of the husbands, he said you find them being jealous, therefore they spy on their wives. He said and there's no reason for them to have doubt. He said and they have doubt concerning her without any cause. He said so when they enter the home, they rush to her cell phone and they look at the call log. Who she been talking to while I was at work. Now, he said, and if the phone rings, they go sit right beside her and they want to listen to who she's speaking to. Now, he said, and they track her and they search through her things and they are suspicious of her. And if they hear her say a word, they say, what do you mean by that? Everything is, she must be cheating on me. And do you know that there's another danger to listening to your wife's phone conversation? What's that? What is that? Eavesdropping. That sister don't want you to listen to her. That sister don't want you hearing a voice like that. You didn't give her permission to listen to her. It's not permissible to listen to her without their permission. She's talking to a woman. You're not mahram for that woman. You can't sit there and listen to that woman's every conversation. She may be saying something personal, or even just hearing her voice. She don't want you to hear her voice. She didn't call you. You can't do that, Yaquan. It's not permissible. That you're going to call that brother and say, hey, brother, you mind if I listen to your wife? She's talking to my wife. That's not going to go over too well, Yaquan. So you can't do that. It's not permissible, Yaquan. Now, he said, so he said, but you find this person who is this type, who has this type of jealousy, if anyone tries to correct them, he'll say, they want my wife. They want her. The Sheikh said this, Shaquan. He'll say, they want my wife. He said, there is He said, the Prophet Muhammad, he said, there is a protective, let me give this narration. This narration is collected in Abu Dawood. Now, he said, there is a protective jealousy that Allah loves. And there is a protective jealousy which Allah hates. The protective jealousy that Allah loves is protective jealousy where there is a cause for doubt. And the protective jealousy that Allah hates is the protective jealousy where there is no cause for doubt. Naam. So, in conclusion, Yaqwan, he says, so this is the righteous husband. As for the husband who is not righteous, then he asks his wife for things that are not his rights because he doesn't know what his rights are. He says, and he is an evil companion to her, and he becomes angry very quickly. If the wife asks him for something, he complains about it and becomes hostile. If she asks again, he frowns and scowls at her. And if she insists, he's going to beat her down and become violent. He said when he's inside the home, he wears raggedy clothes. When he comes out, it's fixed up. He said when he leaves the home, he adorns himself and perfumes himself and brushes his hair, combs his beard out. But when he returns home, he looks like somebody who's at work. He said, no doubt this is a reason for discord, divorce, and strife. He said, so I end this by explaining to you that from the reason to have a good companionship in the home is for the reason to have a good marriage is for the man to be a good companion with his wife. He said, وَعَاشِرُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and live with them in kindness. He said, and the scholars mentioned this is what is reasonable to the custom of the people, that you are kind to your spouse. He said, and you respect the opinion of both, that each spouse respects the other's opinion, and they cooperate in that which will bring about joy and happiness. So the woman is a good companion to her husband, and she consults him in her affairs, and she respects his opinion. Now, and she honors his family. Now, he said, and the man is a good companion to his wife, and he consults her also, and he accepts her opinion if she's correct. He said, and the man should also be good to her family. Now, he said, and I conclude with advice which is necessary for both spouses to adhere to, and that is the greatest thing which will bring about cooperation between the spouses for the home to be established upon the religion. He said, so both spouses should be concerned with the religion and being righteous, and they should help each other upon the religion. We know some of the brothers, Akhwan, and the wives really helped them out. One brother, he mentioned that he had just got married. He was a newlywed, wedding night. He said, so the next morning, he was kind of shy about, leaving and going to Fajr prayer. Didn't know what his wife was going to say. He said his wife, when it's time for Fajr, said his wife put her feet on him and pushed him out of the bed. She said, I know how to lead Salat. Go to the masjid. I know how to pray. Go pray with the men. And that set the tone for the home. They've been married for about 10, 15 years now. That set the tone when she told him, no, you go do what you do. That set the tone, as opposed to like some wives, don't leave me. And they set the tone to make the man shy to go do what he's created to do. Now, he said, so nothing brings about happiness and ease in the home such as the two spouses worshiping Allah Ta'ala together. And then he mentioned the narration, may Allah have mercy upon the man who gets up at night and wakes up his wife and she prays. And if she refuses to get up, he sprinkles water in her face. And may Allah have mercy upon the woman who gets up at night and prays and she wakes her husband up. And if he doesn't want to get up, she sprinkles water in his face. Now he says, so if the spouses cooperate upon religion and dhikr of Allah Ta'ala in the home will be stable. And then he mentioned the narration, the example of the house where Allah is mentioned in, and the home where he is not mentioned in is like the difference between the living and the dead. In his other book, Reasons for Happy Family Life, and we'll end with this, he said you find some of the people in the home is in chaos. And he said the reason why, he said because people don't know how to enter the home right. He said people enter the home, and what should you do when you enter the home, Yaqwan? There's dua you make. He said people enter the home singing. He said, when you enter your home,